Today we will have some basic idea about the motions, uniform motion and the accelerated motion. Now, before that, I would like to emphasize what is a motion. Motion means it is a movement. Okay. Now, the concept of motion was given by Newton. In fact, it is called as the Newton's first law. Newton's first law tells if a body continues to move, it will keep on moving until and unless there is an external force to obstruct it. So the key thing is, it means any body which is moving, it will continue to move until and unless something obstruct it. Now, I'll give a simple example. Suppose if you are running, this means you should continue to run until some force is stopping you. Okay, this is true for any body. This concept many people don't understand because we find that no one can have infinite movements. Okay. Now, how to understand this? Suppose if you run, there is a friction between your leg and your road or the soil. Then there is a friction between your body parts. Okay. If these frictions are removed, you will be continuing to move. One example is when you are in the outer space, you don't need any sun force. I think this is one basic reason why there is rotation of the planets, including Earth. Okay. Now, and this rotation is periodic, it's on constant. Okay. Now, having understood what is sun motion, we will understand what is a uniform motion. Uniform motion means the rate of change of displacement is the same. Or to express in the other form, if you are going in vehicle, let's say from point A to point B at 60 kilometer per hour, whether you measure at this point, this point, this point, it is same. Okay. So this is called as the uniform motion. Then what do you mean by accelerated motion? Accelerated motion means here it will be, let's say, 10 kilometer per hour. Then it will go to 20 kilometer per hour, then 30, then 40, then 50. Similar to how you accelerate your vehicle in the road. There is another concept of accelerated motion, that is when you are throwing the ball up. Here there is, instead of acceleration, deceleration, and deceleration comes because of gravity which is acting down. Okay, so because of this there is deceleration. Now, one important concept of this is the projectile motion. What do you mean by projectile motion? How this is generated? Now, some of you would be playing cricket, would be playing volleyball, football. You would have observed that when you are hitting a ball, it always takes a projectile motion. Why? Why it is taking or an cricket fielder, if he is wanting to throw a ball, he would it will be easier to throw like this rather than to throw like that. Why? So these things you can understand by the simple lesson concept. When you are throwing the ball up, what is happening is acceleration is pulling it down, and here there is a force which is moving forward, and at each time the resultant changes, and this projectile path is nothing but the resultant between G and the horizontal velocity. I will call it as UH. So this is the horizontal thing, and so it takes an projectile motion. So this projectile motion is there primarily because of gravity which is acting down. Okay, so this is the basic concept, and from here you can derive many of the expressions of the projectile motion. Like knowing what is the horizontal velocity, you can determine what is the height. You can determine what is the length it will travel. And the basic principle here is you are equating the here the kinetic energy here with the acceleration down, and then finding the resultant which will trace this projectile car. Okay, right, thank you.